I think I like this little life. Welcome to my very crazy world. Join me and watch me as I bump my head along my journey of success, and whatever that is for you, I pray you figure that thing on out. But in the meantime and in between time, let go.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. You said it, I didn't. I am yours truly, Arianne, licensed therapist, board-approved supervisor, mommy of two, child of God. This is my pinkster. I was gonna get like a super formal introduction.
No, do formal. I want to hear this.
Formal.
Yes, I want to hear this.
Okay, everybody. So listen, I'm hoping by now you guys know a little bit more about me, who I am, what I do. But if you don't know much, if this is your first time watching, I have a big world, right? And I got a lot going on. We're not gonna talk about the feelings yet, because what you be saying. But anyway, for us people who have such a big world, and when I say big world, I mean it's just a lot of heavy things going on at one time, like being a single mom of two toddlers and building a company and learning so much, and just trying your best to fulfill God's will, and it's just a lot going on, right? Mm-hmm. But there is a human in my life who has a gift, and I get to experience that gift. And when I say a gift, it's one of those things where you don't encounter. Some people never encounter it. I'll be honest. Some people never encounter it. And I have those people in my head. But some people never encounter humans like this. And not only do I encounter her, you know how you have that person when you talk to every single day, multiple times a day, morning, night, throughout the day? I am super uber blessed to have a human like that in my life. And I do not take it for granted. Right? But I want to introduce you guys to my person. I'm going to stop before I get really emotional, because I'm getting...
Baby, because what's going on? Because
I know.
I don't know if it's this cranberry juice.
No, not the cranberry juice. See what I'm saying? Not cranberry.
Baby, we're not about to do this.
No, listen. I have... Let me... Because I want to be careful about this, because I value you, right? And anything we value, we are protective over, and you know, I'll play about you. And I'm very careful about, just like we do our wedding rings and our vehicles and our children, and whatever we value, it's a level to it. So I'm gonna fuss at her later, and I'll tell you guys why. But this is Angela. See what I'm saying?
Don't go there. Okay, because
this is Angela, aka Sincerely Angie, aka Pinky, aka Pinks, aka my Pinks, aka my person,
the pinkster.
The Pinkster. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. What do I call you in this podcast?
I know, right?
Do I call you Yanni?
No, yeah. That's my nickname, Yanni.
You said it, I didn't.
And okay, let's go there. Let's start there.
Okay.
Let's start there, shall we?
Who's this baby?
She is in every part of my life, right? So, the decisions that obviously I consult with God, but then I consult with God's secretary, his angel. That's next line.
I'll take that.
But it was I was going back and forth with the name of the podcast. Mm-hmm. And when I be going back and forward, I'll be going back and forward.
Yes.
And did I say it, or you helped me come up with the name?
No, you said it.
I said it.
And then weeks or months later, you was like, oh, the name of the podcast is this. And I was like...
it? I don't even remember.
It was something about life beyond the scenes.
Life behind it all. That was gonna be the other name that I second guessed or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. My eyes sweating. I don't know what's wrong. It's hiding here or something, y'all. So she said life behind the scenes, or behind the beyond, or the
yeah.
And I said,
disrespect.
I'm listening, and as she's saying it, it's just kind of it's life behind it. There was no energy behind it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, well, Yanni, how did you come up with that name? And you said, well, because this, that, and the third. And I said, oh, okay. you know.
And even, I promise you, I'm like, as I'm hearing you genuinely, not sarcastically,
No, it wasn't
genuinely
sarcastic.
seek.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out, I didn't want to impose my thoughts on what you said before on how you were operating now, because it's your journey. And you have to be the decision maker of your journey. Now, I can have input that may be impactful, but you have to ultimately make the decision yourself. And so you were saying, and I was just like, this ain't Yanni. She usually have that little, she extra. And it was just like, oh, it's like beyond the beyond or whatever. And I'm like, and I don't mean to say whatever, but it just, it didn't click for me. Like when you told me, you said it, I didn't. And I'm like, that's perfect, because literally, if you've ever been in a situation where somebody is assessing you or saying something and you're saying it, and then you ask it for advice and they were like, well, you said it, I didn't. Like, you already know what you need to do or want to do or have an idea of. And then when you go to somebody and they just reaffirm it, it's like, I didn't come up with it. I didn't pull this out of, you said it. I didn't. I just co-signed, basically. And so that's the energy you had with it. And so when you say some life behind it, whatever it was, I'm like, okay.
But you see how you are right now about it? When it originally came up, you were so... I know you, first of all.
So I was getting to something.
But it's still like, even the way you said it, it wasn't judgment. It was not judgmental. It wasn't manipulative. It wasn't. It was like a genuine. Okay, tell me where this came from.
Right.
Because maybe if you make it make sense to me, not that it has to make sense to you, but first of all it does. But it was a genuine. Where did this come from? And that came from a spirit. Like that came from, you didn't even have to like explain what that was. That was like what that was. So if this is something new, then what is this about?
Right.
And then it brings you back to, no, Yanni, that hit different. But even before you got to the, that's a no, your spirit, like the sounding board was like, trying to stick to the first one. How often does that happen, though?
It happens a lot. But the thing about it is, though, when you find something that happens and there's pure joy and genuine joy behind it, you have to take that into consideration. Because there's something inside of your body, inside of your mind, your spirit, your heart, that's saying yes to whatever that is. It's saying yes. And so then when you change that, your alternative is just kind of like, oh, okay. But your spirit is like, yes to this, because I know in therapy, I don't know, but I'm sure in therapy, you may have said, you said that, I didn't. Because that's your personality.
Yes.
That's your personality. That's you in general. You would generally, or generically, not generic, genuinely say, you said it, I didn't.
The last session that I had, which was not a brand, but it was an intake session. I'll pull it close to you, babe. But when I said it, because I'm now doing the podcast, I've always said it. Like, well, you said it, I didn't. Well, you said that. Because sometimes they'll think I say something so profound, and I'm like, no, babe, that came from you.
Yeah.
That's in you.
I'm sorry, y'all.
So when I said it the last time, I almost like disconnected as a therapist. I jumped for joy and I was like, well, you said it, I didn't. Oh my God, look, first of all, I got a podcast coming up, but it was appropriate in that space.
Yeah.
Therapy. I don't want y'all to think I'm super I'm not.
You are who you are.
I am.
And the people you have love you for who you are.
Yeah, and it be
business or professional. That's the same thing. Business or personal.
Yeah, it was good. But the name of the podcast will be the name of the podcast, and it just makes perfect sense.
It does. It really does. And when you said it to me, I'm like, that it was perfect for therapy without making it about therapy. Because you said it, I did. It does not automatically scream therapy to me. But when you start to listen to it, and when you hear the key points and the talking points and the things that are necessary for growth in people, you'll be like, yeah, you're right. I did say it. I did say that. And I know this person isn't good for me, but I'm sticking in there because of this.
Yeah.
Well, nobody had to assess that for me. I knew that myself. But,
and also teaches us to trust ourselves a little bit more.
Yes,
that is. And I will go back to the sounding board, because when you are... Oh, wait, first of all, it's March.
It's March.
March.
because I know this episode is
no.
Okay.
So this is some grapes and
this is
that got
cranberry juice.
This is the stuff that Jesus had made in
water. This was originally water, but today is Sunday, so it was touched
by the hands. And cheers to your birthday. Cheers to you being on the podcast. Cheers to you being the Pinks.
It's my birthday. Let me say this, Johnny. Thank you so much for the high honor. I'll say that. Well, let me take myself first. So what I say is, you speak the truth after the
wanted to. I don't know. Or the last 20 minutes before this. So go ahead.
But no, thank you so much, Yanni. That's a high honor for somebody to consider you somebody that's either impactful, resourceful, important, whatever title or label you want to put on somebody. I appreciate that. I come from a family that is not very affectionate. They don't share or say or anything. So to hear that from somebody who is not a blood relative, it is a high honor. So I do respect that. I accept it, and I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Of course. And then also, and you left one out. We left one out. Lead.
Yes.
That was down this list, so let me just get there right quick.
No, tell these people what you did.
What happened?
I'm sitting here before we even get started, and you writing stuff down.
Oh my gosh.
Therapizing
Okay.
me.
And I promise you, I'm gonna expose you.
Don't do that,
It's
Johnny.
ridiculous.
What is going on
At some point,
I'm changing when the new year starts.
you're stuttering, so you're lying.
No, when the new year starts. It starts in a few
The Chinese
days.
New Year?
No, my new year. When it starts in a few days, I'm a change. You know how you say after today I'm not doing because it was your day, and that's what I'm gonna do. A happy new year to me. It's gonna be a new year, and I'm gonna be a new person.
No, for real. I'm proud of you. You know what? No, I'm gonna go down. I don't know. No, for real. All right, I'm gonna go down on this.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. Pinky is
But can I say something real quick?
Go run it.
Y'all, she calls me Pinky.
Oh yeah.
My name is Angie, so don't y'all call me Pinky. Y'all can't call me Pinky. And no offense, I don't mean no offense, but I don't mean anything. Like
I'm gonna call you Angela then.
No.
Okay,
who is she?
That's a little awkward.
Yeah, but people be like Pinky, and I'm like, oh, that ain't my people. Who are you? Like, how you call me? It sounds weird coming from somebody you don't know.
And when I'm out, first of all, I talk about you like a lot of the places
but
that I go.
It's different.
And then somebody says Angela, I'm like, well, who is? Pinky, and they like,
and
who is Pinky? I'm like,
we years in, like deep in. We almost 20 years in. In a few years, it'll be 20 years, but we almost 20 years in.
God.
Yeah. So it's like almost 20 years in, but no, if I was to walk up and, can I say her name?
Who? Yes.
Oh, and Gabby would be like, hey, Pinky. I'd be like, oh, hey. Oh, because it's fine, because I understand that Yanni has
that's the only name she's ever heard.
I get that. I understand that. But, I don't know. It just feels weird because it's like I don't know you, and that's a personal nickname. I don't know. It's just weird.
No,
I don't have a problem with it. It's weird.
I would have to adjust, which I wouldn't want to, but I get it. I get it. That's
you
why
mean
I'm like,
you would have to adjust? I have to adjust.
No, I would have to adjust anytime somebody that I talk to says Angela.
No, because like if we go to a mixer or a business setting and you say, this is Pinky, and then people start calling me Pinky, and it's like,
I gotta do better.
No, but I understand your heart is like, this is my Pinky. What else you want me to call her? Like, I can't call her nothing else because Angela sounds funny. Angie for sure sounds funny. Mm-hmm. So, it's weird. But I just wanted to say that. But it's no problem. I'm not going to look at you crazy. I'm still me at the end of the day. So just disregard everything I just said. I'm sorry.
Anywho's,
it's the cranberry juice talking.
It's with a lot of tears in it.
The leg.
So, and I learned that from you. But anywho, so you really do. You have a super dope relationship with God.
Yes.
You are one of the most kind humans that I've ever encountered. You're so kind. And you talk about me. I ain't gonna jump. I ain't gonna do it. But you are so, I want to know, how did you get like this? How did you become so kind? Excuse me. And, well, I'm not going to go to the CDO, which is OCD. I would say OCD, but the letters are out of order, so I just say CDO because that's how
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
The letters to be in order.
But I want to know, how did you get this way? How did you become so loving and so kind?
I can't really. I don't know necessarily if it was a decision I made on the spot of any one particular incident. I think growing up, I saw right and wrong, and I always wanted to choose right. And then I remember
So it wasn't a conscious decision.
No, it was in elementary school where one of my teachers said she was like, the golden rule. Everybody knows the golden rule. It's to treat others as you want them, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, or treat others how you want to be treated. Something like that she said with the golden rule. And me, I like to learn new things. So when I heard golden rule, I'm like, oh wait, is this something I'm supposed to know? And the golden rule was to treat others as you would have them treat you, or to do unto others, something like that. It was at the time. I don't know what the actual golden rule is, but that when I heard that, I'm like, oh, so basically be nice to others. And so it was elementary school. So I don't remember. It may have been second grade, because I think it was Miss Bellinger, if I'm not mistaken, was her name.
Okay.
And I know that my home life was different. Like, I know that it was not like other houses that I had seen, or when people talk about their home life, I'm like, oh, mine isn't like that. Yeah. So what can I do? And so me and my sister are 2 years apart. She's darker skin and I'm lighter skin. So the first thing I remember is people always saying, oh, that red one, she's so nice. That dark one, she mean. And so I think hearing that, I always wanted to be nice, because people were like, oh, that red one nice, the dark one mean. So they planted it in my head, basically. And that just, I ran with it. Like, I just was like, it's better to be nice. And I didn't grow up with love. Like, my mom didn't say I love you, or hug, or embrace, or anything. So I'm like, I know that you're supposed to be affectionate. So I'm going to go out and be affectionate. Like, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to do everything opposite of what I saw, because I knew that there was better out there.
Yeah. Shout out to God.
Yeah.
You know, I say sometimes, like, although, you know, our parents aren't perfect, but I appreciate what they did, and thank God that He, you know, sent me people to kind of support me and redirect me, you know, those things along the way. Sometimes I say God really had a big deal, like He had a large part of raising me. A large part of raising me.
Yeah.
What we have, you would think, you know, we had some super intentional parents who was just like, I know that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I was like, yo, we ended up all right. Yes. Not better than all right.
Yes.
But we have to, at least I do, and I know you do, because I know you, attribute a lot of it. All of it, really.
All of it, yes,
God.
for sure. For sure.
Like, for you, it was a teacher.
Yes.
And just growing up, just kind of knowing, you know.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was God would plant certain people in my life at certain times when I needed it didn't even know I needed it some of the times. Well, I needed it the most in a small season, just to plant a seed in, or redirect me, or expose me to something new. That's where the Miss Frank came from, and the Dr. Coleman came from, rest his soul, and you know, Dr. Rumfield, Dr. Bro, who's he'll be on a podcast soon. Dr. Arsenal, and you know what I mean? Like, when I tell you raised me.
Yeah. But that's good that you noticed that these people were here for a reason.
Yeah.
Like that, hey, and granted, you may have not have known it at the time, but it came eventually. Yeah. But the fact that you did point it out and pick it out, because, you know, we have people that we meet and we're just like, oh, but it's like, you can change that, into they taught me resilience, or they taught me tenacity, or they taught me, you know, certain things that I can use now to be a better person. Yeah. Instead of looking at it as a negative. Everything. And the thing that I was going to say about with the name of the podcast, whenever you feel joy about something, you won't have regrets. Like, if you feel happy and confident in whatever you're doing, you're not going to have regrets. People always say, and I'm not going to say people, certain people always say, you don't have no regrets. Like, the people either that I've been with, or the people that I've spent time with, or just whatever. places I've gone that I probably shouldn't have gone. No, I don't have regrets. In that moment, if I felt comfortable in my decision to do A, B, C, or D, if I felt comfortable, I don't have a regret about it. Now, if I was pressured into something, and if I was manipulated into something or forced into something that was outside of my control, maybe I would have a regret. But I still look at everything as a lesson. Like, this happened for a reason. Like, this was supposed to happen. And, you and I just talked about how he would line it up. Like,
that's like magic.
He lined it up.
Yeah.
Like, he lined it up. Yeah. So, I don't take anything really as a negative. Like, I know this is happening for a reason.
Now, y'all know I'm a really nice person. Zip it.
No, you are nice.
I am.
You are Captain Sabo.
When we on trips and I've gotten better with that. I don't know if you noticed, but I've gotten better.
Yes, you mind your business. You drink your water and
it's
mind
so
your
hard.
business.
I recently went to New York and I was about to lose it on that airplane.
I'm sure you were.
He was being so mean on her. I wanted to tell girl, come sing with me on the
girl.
But anyway,
you're about to say that you're a nice person, and maybe negative or positive.
No,
something.
I'm a nice person. But when it comes to regrets, I'm
a lot of them.
Well, here's the thing. Let me tell. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might have. But let me tell you why I now don't.
And that's all that matters now.
Because God, for true. Because God has revealed to me the why. Mm-hmm. He's revealed to me the purpose.
Okay.
But I didn't know that while I was going through it. So
you want to share with?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, I feel like the why isn't. It couldn't be personal.
But it is.
So if it's personal, then it's a version of the why, but it's not the why. Like, it's this why, but it's not the why. So, I went to school, I got my master's. I'm joking. No, seriously. Cause let's just use my.
No.
Let's just use my whatever for example. No, seriously.
Give me your grape juice.
So me though. My reasoning behind not having regrets is because I know that there's a lesson in everything, but it's not personalized to any one person or any one situation. Mm-hmm. But what you're saying is I don't want to reveal my why because it seems personal.
And it is.
Okay, so and
yeah.
It
but here's the thing.
What is the overall consensus of it though? What is the overall idea?
I understand the purpose.
Okay, so what is the overall purpose?
So the certain lesson out of the relationship that did not work out.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Once that was revealed to me, then my spirit was settled in not regretting anything.
Okay.
Right? But in real time, and you know this.
Yeah.
In real time, my spirit was vexed. And, we're just gonna leave it at that.
Next subject.
All right. It had got a little dark.
I don't want to go back.
It had got a little dark. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why
you saying real dark though.
It is what it is. How much you give? Yeah, he died on the cross. Jesus did that. I'm good.
Yeah,
you good? I'm good. Let me tell you about forgiveness. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on God.
You're right.
And now who forgives?
Yes.
God did.
He does. That definitely did.
He does. Mm-hmm. I am so grateful.
As you should be.
My God. That's why I don't judge. Y'all better stop judging. We gotta stop judging. All right, I got a legitimate question.
Okay.
I asked everybody on here this question. So when life is going good, I want to know what that looks like for life to be going good, right? Mm-hmm. For me, like working out and eating healthy, reading my Bible, just feeding my soul, myself. I want to know, one, what does the track look like for you to be on track? What are you doing in order for life to be good? And then two, life happens, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes we fall off, life happens. What does it look like for you to get back on track. So like the reboot. Let me do this thing, reset to get back on track. What does your track look like, and what does it look like to reboot?
So the track is what exactly?
What does it look like for life to be going good for you?
Okay. See, I think that ties into me looking at everything as a lesson, so I really wouldn't know when my life kind of goes off track, because I would look at everything as, oh, I'm in a learning.
That's why it's a gift.
No.
That's how I know.
No, seriously, like,
I don't got time.
I've never been homeless, thank God.
Yeah.
But I have been in situations where I've had to downsize, aka foreclosure, or I've had to move for whatever reason. But I don't look at that as a negative or
in real time, though.
Even in real time, even
that's why I said you're a gift.
Even in real time, when I knew a year before before I was getting ready to move out my house, I was packing up a year beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I already knew my finances. I was taking $2,000 out every month to pay bills. Then I was taking $1,000 out to pay bills. Then I was taking $500 out of my savings. Yeah. And then I got to like $250, and I was like, look now, we getting close to my broke number. I'm not doing this. I would rather move back to an apartment before I go broke to stay in a house that I can't afford anymore. Yeah. So even in the meantime, I already knew where things were going when I started taking out of my savings, because the way I feel about my savings is it's non-existent. I don't even look or touch my savings account. Yeah. So the fact that I had to pull out to pay bills, I was like, okay, something got to shake. So I started putting clothes and everything in boxes. Really started separating. And then I was like, when things got tight close toward the end, I started looking for an apartment. Because I was not moving back with my mom. I had no family that I felt like I could move with, because my siblings are married and stuff, or they're out of town. And I'm like, I can't move in with them. So I was like, I got to go get an apartment. And I didn't have a relationship at the time. So I moved into an apartment. But in the moment, though, my mind was just focused on, okay, what can I do with what I have? I'm not going past this number that's in my savings account. So I know that I have X amount of months to get to that number based on how much I'm taking out, how much I'm bringing in. And then I went on from there. So in the moment, to answer your question, in the moment, but I'm a planner, and I'm a thinker, and I'm an overthinker, and I'm a control freak.
Yeah, we're working on that, people.
So I'm always thinking over and above what I need to be thinking. Like, I already overanalyze everything. So in a moment, if my life is off track, I don't look at it as off track. I feel like it's a shift. I'm going somewhere. Something is about to happen.
Your perspective,
it's that's really what it is. Your perspective on things. Because somebody could look like, oh man, my life is in the pits and everything is going wrong. But it's like, no, there's a shift that's about to happen. I know God is not going to leave me out in the gutter, and if He does, He has a plan for me in that gutter. Maybe I'm supposed to minister to somebody. Maybe I'm supposed to be here so somebody can watch my comeback story, or maybe, who knows? But He not going.
Yeah.
I think about Job, in the Bible, took everything, but Job knew he was gonna be all right. I mean, he was like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. But he got double back what he lost. So it's like, even if you are in the gutter, it can't be for long. And if it is for long, He gonna give you double. That's if you have a relationship with Him and you have faith and you believe in Him. Yeah.
You said it. Like, anytime that I would ask myself, I was literally about to say, but I don't even have to ask that. I know exactly why you are this way in real time. And I have to point out that it is in real time, because, I love God.
You don't love God?
But Pinky, I you know this, but this is, sometimes, like I said, I got a lot going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten so much better, and my clients have gotten so much better too. I'm so proud of us. But before, I would have to watch the amount of time that I spend in that space of just like frustration or anger, because it's like I forget that God is in control of everything.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that really is your perspective. Like, when things go bad, it's like, well, there's a purpose for it's a purpose for this. It's a purpose for that.
Yeah.
Dr. Brooke, who will soon be on the show, he told me one time, I forgot the details of the story, but the synopsis is, I'll use, for example, like, somebody's poor. That could be a good thing, or that could be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then they win $13 million. Right? That could be a good thing, but that could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Then they end up spending a lot on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a good thing.
Or it could be.
Or that could be a bad thing.
Yeah.
They end up going to rehab and ministering to a person and save their lives from suicide.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
all these different things that happen to you. Big takeaway, in real time.
Mm-hmm.
It you really can just tap into your faith.
Yeah.
And know that God got me.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still covered with grace.
Yeah, and
I'm good.
That goes to your second part of the question was how do you get back on track? How do you reset?
Yeah.
And even though in real time, I don't feel like I'm going through it or I don't look at it as that, I still know that, you know what, I've been spending a lot of time doing this. Yeah. I'll say I've been spending a lot of time doing this. Let me stop listening to these YouTube videos or these Netflix shows or whatever. Yeah. And I take that time that I would have been listening to those shows and I put on gospel music or worship music. So that's my background noise. I stopped watching the Netflix shows or YouTube shows and I put on sermons. So that's how I get back rooted. I get back to knowing who's my source and where the resources are. Because it's easy though, even though I'm not in the best position, I know that there's better out there. And if my faith is lacking, because it does sometimes,
that
like
happens.
I don't see it. I can't see it. Out of what I see in front of me, I can't see it. Well, you start listening to your word. You start having that gospel music in your ear versus the outside world. And then you start being reaffirmed by the gospel singers singing their testimonies or the worship singers singing their praises. Yeah. And you start to renew your mind like, oh yeah, he got this. I got this. We good. Like, you know, so that's how I get back. I fast. That's the best possible explanation is I fast. I get rid of social media. I get off social media. Now, granted, that was a problem for me before, but now social media, I'm not phased. Like, I've gone like 12 hours, 24 hours almost without looking at social media. And before, it's like every hour, 1 hour, I'm checking what's up. Oh, okay, I got to get off now. But no, now it's like I could go without it. Yeah. But the outside world does seep into you when either you're listening to you got whatever videos are on your feed on YouTube. Let's just say you have the Breakfast Club. Yeah, you know, you have all of these things pop up and you're like, oh, this is an interesting title. Then you hear this person's perspective, you hear that person's perspective, and then now you got all of these things floating around in your head because let's not act like what we listen to and see don't affect us. Because you could easily be watching a TV show, Pizza Hut comes on, and you're like, oh, I want pizza.
Who you talking to? Who you talking?
You said that.
Girl, it was some.
No, seriously though.
Parmesan toast.
That happens, and you don't want, and to kind of go off key a little bit, but that's how it is with porn. As a woman, it's easier for us to be celibate. But if you see a man romancing a woman, you're like, oh, you know, and you kind of get to like, oh wait, I wasn't even thinking about that before this. So why am I, you know, so what we see do affect us and what we hear affects us.
Now I'll go into therapist mode real quick. We have an organ, you know, our brain, and our brain functions how our brain is supposed to function, regardless of how our neurotransmitters communicate to each other, whatnot. Our brain is functioning how it's supposed to function, right? It really is what you're exposed to and what you're stimulated by. So it could be something as simple as not as simple as, but it could be the Bible. If I'm reading my word, I begin to feel something. I might become emotional. I might think of something, or you know, now you got me watching Chosen now, and me and Chosen got me in a what? In a chuckle. I be cool. Anywho,
well, just a little side note. Yeah. If you watch Chosen, Chosen is actually like the best depiction of what Jesus went through in the Bible. It's probably the best. Really?
I'm still doing it. I'm literally
it's
like
shot beautifully. And I think it's based on a book of Jesus' story really is in a book of Matthew. Like his life based. I'm not gonna say, look, don't take my word for you Bible scholars, but majority of his life is in the book of Matthew. And a lot of the things that the episodes that they have, you can find in Matthew. And so when you see the woman at the well, you probably haven't gotten to that episode yet.
Yes, I have.
Oh, the woman at the well. Yeah. And you see that portrayed versus what you've read is how you pictured it in your mind.
Yeah.
It's like this woman is at the well. Nobody else wants to go to the well because of her. She goes to the well to get the water at the time where not a lot of people are there because they give her a hard time when she is there. But he goes there and he's like, and his satire. You looked it up the other day. No, I ain't brand new. You looked it up the other day.
Oh, yeah.
The way that they portray him, and he like, well, why wouldn't I want your water? He ain't say it like that, but the way
like that.
The way he's portrayed in the Chosen, the series, is just like Jesus is the homeboy. Like, you want to hang around him.
That's why I keep saying he bae.
That's your brother.
He's my brother. He's my father. He's bae. He is.
But seriously though, I didn't mean to go off topic, but Chosen is a really good. If you want to hear the story of Christ and you want to see and follow, I think that they really shot it really well. They wrote it really well. It is something to watch.
How far are you into Chosen?
Well, I'm waiting for the new season.
Oh, you done?
Yeah, there's three seasons, and they shot the 4th season. I'm waiting for it to come out. But it's on the Angel Network first, because that's who produces it. And you have to just sign that in or subscribe to their network, and you can watch it for free there. But then I think it's on Peacock, and I think maybe
it's on Prime.
All 3 seasons.
Well, yeah, I'm on season 2.
Oh,
I'm assuming 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Hopefully, it's 3.
See, that's all.
Because I don't want to tell you that because you're gonna be like, "What you mean? There's another season? I can't watch it."
You just heard me?
I'm like, I don't. No, you gonna find it.
I like when it's done and I just get to run through.
Oh no, baby, take your time. Take your time.
Because it be having.
Yes.
Google. I'm in a Bible app. I'm in my women's Bible. I'm like,
yes.
Well, who said what?
Say what now? Yeah.
Matthew had autism. No, that man ain't have no autism. But it makes sense. Y'all. Oh my God.
Watch it. Sorry.
If you are watching Chosen, I will say for me, it is a fun Bible study. It's like,
it's like. They on the first season, I'm sorry, did they have where the people lifted their friend down at the
yes?
See what I'm saying?
You read the name? Tamar,
yeah. Tamar, I think.
Oh, she was given.
Yeah, was she?
She was given. I said, you better come on, Blake or Magic.
Lace.
Yeah, you know I love it. She's definitely what was I saying?
You were getting ready to say. I don't know, but I interrupted you at Chosen.
Yeah, you tried.
But you need friends like that. That's gonna lift you down so you can be healed if you need to be healed. You need that around you.
Real talk.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to. I don't know what is this a Bible quote. I'm gonna ask this off the thing, but I do have a question. So, one of the things why I said that you are gifted as noble and honorable and the level of integrity that you have, and I'm explaining that what I mean by the level of integrity. Pause. All right. The reason I say the level of integrity. I was about to say, why wait? See, I want to know. The level of integrity that you have is like you know my life across the board. Like you know my finances.
Yeah.
You ain't my business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know my life, and you know my encounters with certain people. And that are no longer in my life. Mm-hmm. But because I have integrity, you know nothing about the intimate details of their life. You know nothing about that as close as we are. Mm-hmm. Because I have integrity. But you also have integrity because even when I you know that I've been done wrong. Mm-hmm. And you still will not kick that person down.
No.
You have a level of integrity, like even though I may be victimized or whatever may have happened, you still will call me to the table and just be like, and I quote.
Did I talk with Arianne?
No, listen. One time what had happened was.
Oh Lord. I know it's gonna work in my favor, so I ain't even worried. It's gonna work in my favor.
So I'm not for where you wrong for that though. But I said I was going through. So I don't know what I was going through because I'm always going through something. But I said. I just feel like I got so many feelings. And you said, ooh, you got a lot of them. I said, wait a minute.
Yeah, wasn't it a song though? somebody has a son that I got a lot of them.
Yes. But she said, you got a lot of them. I said, wait a minute. So I have a lot of feelings and mine are emotional. I'm just going through so much. I don't know what to say.
Yanni!
Jesus!
Yanni,
for true. And to really get yourself.
But I appreciate that you accept me and my sarcasm, but my sarcasm is laced in sarcasm and truth. And I appreciate that you're...
I evaluate myself. I said, listen, the fact that I can receive it is because it doesn't come, it's a quality over quantity with you.
I'm glad
if you get to the point where you have to point out to me, hey, I need to catch your head, get it together. I know you're going through a lot, but you get the, you will say something as subtle as, you got a lot of them. Which one we got today? I know what that means though.
Yeah.
Catch your head.
So my
act
cousin,
like you know who's covering you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Like
my cousin told me. She said, my cousin. She said,
I know what you're talking about.
She said that I have a perspective that nobody would think to go to. She said I'm logical, but in a way that it makes sense, but it's not the first thought for most people.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I appreciate it because you were speaking of don't be judgmental. And what I'm dealing with right now is being more quiet or being quieter.
I got that on my list.
Okay.
And let me introduce this part because this was all about to get you together.
Don't get me together.
got to get you together.
Baby.
So here's the thing. She is very, very, very obedient. Like I call her, well, I ain't gonna tell her what I really call you, but very noble and very honest. And discernment and obedience, right?
Which I prayed for.
Right, and she got it. It freaks me out sometimes. It freaks me out. There was a time we were at the movies and there was a seat on the end and a seat right there and another seat right there. And then there was a couple. And I'm like, well, I don't want to sit next to, whatever. Let me just sit right here because nobody's there. And she's like, well, we were just chilling for, I don't know how long.
We were chilling for a while. The previews was still on.
During the previews. So
the fact that we got them.
Oh, yeah. I like previews just in case Denzel Washington come up. But we'll get
okay. Because you be on time,
very punctual. Very punctual.
And I be on time.
CP time. Anywho.
So the fact that we saw the previews is a feat all in itself, but okay.
And it deserves an award. Yeah,
it does. Clap it up.
Yeah, for real. I love the emotions.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
But during the previews, your spirit started to get vexed. Obviously, I was dissing. I'm in a whole new world, And all of a sudden she says, Yanni, move. Or whatever you said, like, I think you should move. Or somebody is going, whatever you said.
I said, Yanni, I would not get too comfortable because you don't know if the person who belongs in that seat is going to come. Because at the movies, they're assigned seats. Now, when you purchase a ticket, they're assigned seats.
That's right.
So the 3 seats, we didn't want to sit either next to the people.
We
didn't want to sit next to the people. So we sat at the 2 closer to the end. And the middle seat was open. I'm like, don't get too comfortable because what if the person who sits in the seat comes? And so then she got up and sat in the seat where she was actually supposed to be. And then 2 seconds later,
the woman walks right up
and sit down.
And me and I go like this.
Yeah.
It really did freak me out because the timing of it. Now, mind you, I don't know how long you were sitting with that in your spirit to say, am I going to say something? Am I going to just, whatever? Because mind you, it was a while. I did get comfortable.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so and I'm waiting on.
Because we had already eating our food.
Yeah, and we had good snacks too.
Yeah, we had fries.
Yeah, I mean, something. But
it honestly, when we sat down and I was like, you were like, sit right here. And I'm like, I'm going to sit right here. And you said, well, I'm going to sit right here. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. But you said something. And that's what I would like for you to get more comfortable with. Mm-hmm. You're not that comfortable with it.
No, I'm not.
You're not. And but you gotta get you up out the way.
I'm torn because I know my delivery is not the best for people. Like,
And that's
real
where we
quick,
disagree.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
And I hate that I always have a story for a story. I hate that I always have to go back in order to tell the story. But there was an ex-boyfriend when I was 13 or so years old. And when we got older, a little bit older, he said that I used to say things that just, it didn't sit right with him. Like the way I said things were bad. Like it was mean. And I'm like, no. I was talking to a coworker when we went out to eat a couple of weeks ago for her birthday. Yeah. And she said, she's a Pisces. And she was like, Pisces? As a Pisces, I say what needs to be said. And I don't care how people feel about it because it's the truth. And I'm like, I'm the same way. It's not that I don't care how they feel about it. Okay. It's just that for me, I don't see anything wrong with it because to me, it's the truth. Like, the truth is this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, you know what? I could have a better way of saying it. So I think my delivery, because of my sarcasm, is off. So I think people are off-putted by my sarcasm and my tone. And I don't even think it's bad, but it has to be something because I've heard too many times that...
Well, I don't think there's a need for sarcasm.
I don't know how...
Unless it's
natural. I speak fluent in sarcasm. Like, it's natural. It's just like with the whole feeling situation. That came out. It was just like, yeah, you got a lot of them. Like, it was natural for...
Go to the altar on that.
I'm going to go to the altar. I'm going
to go on a fast on it.
I'm going to fast.
Because here's the reason. Remember really who you are, though. You know what I'm saying? Remember your gift.
Well, my name is Angela. Yeah. My legal name is Angela. And in the Google or the, I forgot what it's called, the gender, like the name thingy, it says that my name means messenger of God. So I'm always cautious about what I'm saying because I'm like, what if this is a message from God? What if he's instructing me to say this thing at this time, which you and I just had a conversation about, me and my coworker.
Oh my gosh, that gave both of us chills on the phone. Yes. We don't have to get into it, but that was insane. And so it's like, which is again why I give it to you.
Yes, it's the discernment. It's the, because I'm like, who should I give this book to? And I know y'all don't know what's going on, but in my mind, I'm always like battling these things. And I say, I follow my first mind. My mind said to put the book in the car. I put the book in the car, and then I go to work, and my coworker has the same author on the book. And I was scared to give it to her because I'm like, oh, she already told me she has a whole lot of books. See the book, and then she tells me she has something to share with me. She shares it with me, and I'm like, girl, this book was meant for you. And she was like, oh, I'm so glad you look at this, what I wrote down. And the name of the book is in the prayer that she wrote down, and I'm just like,
there's more details to it, so if you're confused, I understand why.
Be confused, but just know that he be working.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like it couldn't have been anything other than God.
Other than
I feel like they almost missed that without the details.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. It's just you had to be there.
I guess it is one of those things like you just had to be there.
Yeah, but that also speaks to what you were saying about I have something to say, but I'm here trying to silence myself. And then I also know that God is going to use me at some point. I don't know when it is, if it's every day, if it's every other day. I know he's going to use me, but it's like, if you're silenced, how can he use you? And I have to work on knowing when to speak and say what. And if I should just say it and not worry about the consequences of how they feel, because my heart is in the right place, but everybody doesn't know that.
I would probably go with that. Just go with it.
I would
probably go with that because number one, you can't fake who you are. You really are a kind person. You really, really are a kind person. Mm-hmm. So I would just go with that. You have to just go with it. Because if not, like you messing over us. But
because you know when I talk to a certain person who does have a problem with my tone or my delivery, I feel reassured when situations happen. It's like God is telling me, don't change who you are. You're perfectly fine. They have a problem with it. And that's not a you thing. That's a their thing, them thing. They have to do work on themselves to be able to accept either criticism.
Are you sarcastic, though?
I am very sarcastic. But here's the thing.
That's incongruent. I don't like it.
No, listen. The person or the situation is probably because somebody has not accepted what is true in their life, because the truth hurts. And I'm not saying I can diagnose anybody or I'm right in every situation. Okay. What I'm saying is, if they're really the only ones that are offended, and then I have people coming back and saying, thank God you told me this. I'm so happy you shared this. I'm so happy. It's like God is saying, yeah, they may not accept it. They don't have to accept it. That's fine. Yeah. But what you're doing is okay because look at the people who are benefiting from it.
Yeah.
And when I said move, versus the one person who has a problem with it. And I'm focusing on the one person who has a problem with it versus the many times that somebody has been
helped by it.
Help.
But the people that you are blessed, the people that are blessed by, the message that God sends to you to deliver to them, is your delivery sarcastic? I'm sorry, is it?
I don't know.
Well, that would be a question for them. I wouldn't imagine somebody being blessed with a sarcastic, aka a very incongruent.
Well, like I told you, you got a lot of them. That was sarcasm, but it stuck out. It stuck out for you because you and I are back and forth.
You're doing it again. You did it. You just did it, God. Dang it.
Our back and forth is different. Like
all right, you didn't do it. I take it back because it's different.
No, our dynamic is very different.
Yeah.
So maybe you would have only understood it if I said it that way.
He's like, you got a lot of them. You got a lot of them.
I think it was a Drake song. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, I promise. I said, but it does help to know the person on that intimate level. Though.
Yes, and you know their heart, and it's not malicious.
No, indeed.
There's no ill will in any of the things I say. I'm not trying to tear anybody down. I promise. I'm only trying to lift up. Like honestly,
that is true.
Speaking,
go ahead.
If and I don't like to say what I've done for people.
Right.
But if you were to line up the things that I've done, just out of not even a second thought, just like automatically, you were like, well, why would you even take anything she says as malicious if she did this without a second thought? And it's not about that. It's just like, look at the person versus the offense. Like, do you think that she actually meant it that way?
Yeah, I love that because you are human, but I also think you are an angel. And I don't think God just had his angels out here being sarcastic. Now,
if you watch The Chosen, you get 8 more episodes.
I didn't get that far.
You give 8 more episodes.
Yes, I did, because he did get John together. I mean, not John, Simon together. He did get Simon together.
I ain't saying that's how he is in real life, because that is a depiction of it. But you think everybody around here being stiff about it? Like,
I'm sure. Here's the thing.
You're not
protecting. That is. But I am protecting it, so I feel like because I know I've experienced God's grace through you, I've experienced the gift.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want you to deliver that or to give that someone to someone and they not be able to receive it.
I understand
because there's a blockage of
the sarcasm.
Whosoever
is. I understand.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand that
because we don't get to encounter.
So how do I?
Well, baby, you gotta talk to your therapist.
Okay, so no, let me tell you. Here's the thing. What? I don't know when God is using me. I don't know
I when it,
like even with the movie situation. I didn't know
until it was confirmed.
And even with my coworker, I did not know that God was using me. I'm gonna say this. I'm not even gonna lie. When I put the book in a car, because I was sitting there debating who I wanted to give the book to, it was you, another coworker, and another coworker. And I'm like, Yanni's not gonna read this book. She already got a whole lot going on. And Yanni gonna put this, I thought about your throwaway spirit. I said, Yanni gonna throw this book away, and I don't gonna give her this book, and she
don't y'all, listen, pause. I never have I ever thrown a book away.
Yanni, one of the books that I first started reading last year is because you was getting ready to throw it. You were getting ready to throw it away. I'm sorry, y'all, my English started to... She be bringing it out of me.
I've never thrown a book away.
Yanni, this book called...
No, don't never see this.
No. Oh yeah.
I ain't popping like that.
It's Triumph. It was about this man who was injured at his job, and he had to have it. Yes. And you were getting ready to throw the book away, and I'm like, Yanni, don't throw that book. There's power in triumph or something like that was the name of the book, and I'm like,
book?
I did.
Was it good?
Say what I'm saying.
No, we're gonna talk about this off camera.
I don't want to know.
Come on, let me tell you about my spirit.
You be knowing?
I be knowing. Now, I may not expose my knowledge.
I just don't know who the editor was.
I met him at IHOP. I tell you.
You probably.
I sure did.
I'm sorry.
And I stand on that. I've never thrown a book away. just so happened you caught one of my throwaways, but you caught it before I threw it away. So I still stand corrected.
You know, if you want to be technical,
and
you probably are right that you haven't. But you remember the other day, it was a couple of months ago when we were going through the books, and I was putting them in like size order.
CD.
And we were organizing Avery's room.
Yeah.
And you was like, well, I said, well, this is a pile. You know, we had the several piles. Yeah. You was looking at going through the paperwork and stuff like that, and you were putting books to the side. I'm like, yeah, all right, Pinky, all right. You had books in there that you were like, I don't need this. It was like I'm not gonna say medical books, but it was like, I think books from college. She was like, I said, well, just keep it just in case, you know. And I said, it's that ABCDEFG book that you diagnose people with. It wasn't that one. You were not about
both of them right there. And
it wasn't that one, but it was amongst those books.
Okay.
And I'm like,
yeah. And I actually do reference my books, though. I do.
You should, because there's a lot of diagnoses in there.
No, yeah, there's a lot of assessments and really great tools to use. But and some things you always need. Some things, you know, and more research and more information and just so many things coming out. But yeah,
are we staying on topic?
Oh, duh. Do we ever? No, not just.
I thought because you.
No, we did. We did. Now. Well, I feel like we kind of touched on the compassion part.
We can talk about it. Okay. Is it a specific question or just the word compassion so we can touch on it?
I'm a very kind person.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. To the point where when we go on vacation multiple times, every time?
Every time.
Every time.
Sure,
yeah. That sounds accurate. I do not, on the kids, on God, on everything I love, I don't, where is a person that's hurting? I do not go, contrary to popular belief, I do not go around seeking who my mind about.
No, you do not.
I don't.
You don't.
But if I'm walking down in Vegas or Cancun
or Ocean Drive
in Miami,
yeah,
wherever I am, if I see somebody who's visibly in pain or who's going through something emotional, I can't not take my time to address it, or you know what I mean, make sure that at least they're okay. Do you need anything? I'm here, whatever. Mm-hmm. Even at Suno one time when they were having something going on, and I do regret this I do regret. There was a domestic situation going on in the parking lot, and I was just like, I got out. I don't know who I thought I was. This was ridiculous. I got you.
I just want to send a message.
Go, run it.
Oh, can I?
Think?
Okay.
Yeah. I was I saw a domestic situation, and I got out the car, and I was like, you straight? Now, mind you, I was a little bit, I was just like disturbed by it. So I was like, you straight? Like, you need me to bring you somewhere or whatever? And he was just like, she could. And I'm like, I responded according to his aggression. I don't know who I thought I was. I'm this itty bitty, and this is a big man. And she was just like hesitant on whether she was going to come with me or not. And I'm like, I got you. Wherever you need to go, I will bring you. And this happened multiple times. Remember when I was at the apartment complex?
Yeah.
This happened multiple times. If I see you, I have to make sure you're okay. Like, when we going out having drinks on vacation, mm-hmm. we having a good time, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, this person is in pain. I could have been there, whatever. And I say all that to say, I have a level of compassion. And I've gotten better with my emotional boundaries because I care so much. Yes. And so I have to create a boundary where, one, I can't care more than you. And that has been really healing.
It's very healing. Let me tell you. Mm-hmm. Maybe about 10 years ago, we can talk about it off camera. You know the person very well.
All right.
But there was a situation that happened. And obviously, it was a married couple, and I felt more strongly about the thing that happened within the relationship than the wife did. And my spirit was, and I'm like, is it? And I'm taking, and I had to realize I'm taking on the troubles and the stress troubles of somebody else, and I had to let it go. And I'm like, girl, why are you more mad than she is? Why are you even? I thought about it because I'm like, how can you, and look at what this and this, that wasn't the first person. Yeah. That was the last situation that allowed me to say, hey, you know what? we're not doing this again. We're not doing it. You are more concerned about invested than this person is. Like, this person is like, I'm gonna take it back. It is what it is. We gonna fight it out. Whatever. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
you and your noble self.
I'm in my feelings. But I am. So I guess with being compassionate, maybe you are. But I know I am. An empath. Yeah. Like through and through. I'm not gonna say I love going to funerals, but I go to funerals. I just said I'm not gonna say I love.
But you kind of did.
But I will go to a funeral. So if I didn't know you and you were like, oh my God, I gotta go to a funeral, I don't have anybody to go, I'll come with you. I will go to a funeral like it's nobody's business. Don't ask me why. I'm not morbid. I promise you I'm not.
For me?
I'm not morbid. I met this guy
back here.
Listen, this guy that I was dealing with, he invited me to a funeral. I went to support.
That sounds familiar.
You probably remember. But I'll go to a funeral with the quickness. But I'm gonna cry at the funeral like I know the person. Because everybody around me crying. You expect me not to cry? And everybody around me crying? Oh, hell no. Heck no. No. No, I'm serious. That was just an example of some of my empathness.
Don't worry, guys. She got a therapist on my hands. We're working on that.
But no, I am an empath. Like, I can easily sense when somebody's energy is off. I can easily sense when something about that person is not right. Yeah. Something like I can meet you and I'll keep you at a distance. I'll be cordial with you, but I'll keep you at a distance and nobody would ever know until I see it and point it out to you. Be like, I never picked up on it. And it's like, something in my spirit was, I'm not gonna say vexed, but something in my spirit was like, hello.
That just asked me to Tia. Like she has a keen sense of, she should.
Yeah. And she's from New York too, so they build different. They pick up on different things. They build different in New York.
I love she probably watching. I listen. That's my cousin, y'all.
So I'm definitely an empath. Nobody can cry around me. If you're sad, I would definitely pick up on that energy. I'd be like, you good?
Yeah.
How did you, well, normally you would say, good morning, and you just like, good morning. And that's not, I know
there's levels to it, because sometimes common sense can help you.
And I was just about to say,
but it's a level to
it's definitely levels
your attention to that emotional space.
Somebody you can easily see when it's that drastic. Hello, and then it's hell. You can see it, but there's also something. And I told you, me and that coworker, one day she just, and I'm like, did I say something? She's like, no, you said everything right at the right time. You didn't, so it's just certain things that my spirit is just sensitive to it. And I hate it and I love it. I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm not even going to say I hate it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the fact that I pick up on it. But I don't like it because sometimes you are
over
that.
Well, that's where the boundaries come in place, though.
Because people say nothing's wrong with me, but I'm sensing something and they're saying nothing's wrong. And then at that point in time, then now my energy has shifted because I know that
instead of
wrong.
Just kind of going inward and
dealing with it and letting it go.
Emotional boundaries. I think, first of all, there's a psychoeducation component of emotional boundaries when we're talking about like really implementing it. Mm-hmm. Because I sent the video to you when I had after a session, I was just so emotional. Did I send it to you? Mm-hmm. No, I sent it to Paris. I was so emotional. For those of you who don't,
with the
prayer journal.
Yeah, you did.
So you guys have already saw the episode of my time with Paris, and if you haven't, look at me about to get fancy. If you haven't, please click this link, and you can for sure watch that video. But Paris has prayer journals. I'm fancy like that. Mm-hmm. Paris has prayer journals, and she gifted me some prayer journals. And immediately I said, I know exactly who I'm going to give it to. I said that at the top of my mind and in my flesh. But something happened, and I gifted it to a certain person. I'll keep all the details out because I'll play with confidentiality. And all I will say is powerful. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And after that session, I wept. Mm-hmm. I needed to release because it was that type of session. And I had to really let Paris know how grateful I am that she gifted that to me, because she didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, I knew the story behind Paris beginning those prayer journals.
Yeah.
So I'm like, your story, your situation made you begin these prayer journals, and your spirit made, convicted you to give those to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave that to my person and my people, and powerful. That's all I could say is powerful.
Yeah.
And I wept, and because I have emotional boundaries, I knew that I had to do it right after the session. I literally walked the person out, closed the door, and on my way back to the chair you're sitting in now, I was crying on my way back. I was holding all of that in.
Yeah.
And on my way back, because so much came out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, it was God. But anyway.
Yeah, most times that's all it is.
Yeah.
You can't attribute it to anything else but God.
Yeah, but having emotional boundaries means I'm about to process this before I leave this office.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, it will take me home.
Yeah.
Which, mind you, when I say powerful, this is a good thing. Right?
Yeah.
But I want to be fully present for my babies.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel the need to have to say, oh, let me tell you what happened in session and let me expose. I'm not exposed, but disclose. I don't want to talk about the details of my thought. First of all, it's unethical. Yeah. And it's just not right. And I have integrity. But I also need to release it so that I will keep that boundary outside of this office.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what my emotional boundaries look like. Before I leave this office, whatever happens, call it Vegas, whatever happens is it. But sometimes at the sessions, I really have to dump that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I have to give it to God because he could handle all of our stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like me just weeping. And sometimes it looks like me praying.
Yeah.
And I pray for my clients. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But emotional boundaries are important. And I say that for me and I say that for you because you are a very, very kind person.
Yeah.
I don't know how you deal with me. We going next question.
No, for real. No.
I know we about to wrap, y'all.
But I say this. I tell you this.
Yeah.
I say I'm full. Like my cup is full. So I have it to give. And I said, if at any point I don't have it to give, I won't answer the phone. I said, so if you ever go to voicemail, I don't get the phone. 9 out of 10 times it could be that I was not near the phone at that time. Yeah. But then at one time, it could be I don't have it right now. Because I know Yanni.
So good.
I know Yanni.
Oh, well.
Let me tell you, I have an album in my phone of screenshots of Yanni's face whenever she calls me on FaceTime.
I don't deserve this.
Whenever she calls me on FaceTime, I know it's going to be
painful. It's gonna be. I told you I have a really big world, and it's a lot going on.
It really is, and I am grateful that I can be that person. Because one thing, and I tell you this about my niece, they probably won't see that, but if they do, then she knows. Yeah. But if you don't have anybody else to go to, I'm glad that you can come to me. So if my niece feels that she doesn't have anybody she can go to, I'm glad that it's me because I trust my intentions. I trust my heart. I trust that she knows that, you know what? 18 years old, she's not gonna lie to me. Yeah. She's not gonna tell my mom. She's not gonna do this. She's gonna be here for me. She's gonna listen to me. And if I can be that person to anybody, I will be that person because I didn't have that person growing up. And I didn't know that I needed that person. But as an adult, it's like, okay, I know that my mom didn't have the capacity for this. My dad was not around. My older sister, she was, she's 2 years older than me, but she had her own crowd. And then my older siblings, they were much older than me. So it's like I literally had nobody. So I lost myself in being in the closet, not sexual orientation. But I mean, like literally I would be in a closet reading a book or writing or
drawing,
napping.
Who need that? Continue. Don't get me my
napping.
Go ahead.
I took a nap. Let me tell you one thing about me. I'm gonna take a nap. That was back then, and that is now. I would take a nap. But so that is what. When I think about my childhood, when I think about what I wanted, what I needed, I want to be that person for somebody. So if I could be that for you, if I could be that for my niece, if I could be that for anybody, I want to be that person. So
you really are.
I appreciate that, and I take that, and I am grateful for that because even if I were to feel like I don't have that person, I know that I am being that person. So in turn, that person is eventually going to come. because whatever you put out, you're going to get back.
You know what? We're gonna work on that. Cause let me tell you
What
something.
we gotta work on that for?
I got a chicken bone.
What
No, a
for?
turkey bone to pick with.
Oh, because I don't say much? Because I don't talk about it?
Yeah, but it's hard for me to say that when I'm kind of like, you know how I don't like as even though whatever. Anyway, yeah, because what was it? A couple of days ago? What 3-4 days ago?
When I told you. But that's the thing, though.
I don't even take it personal because that's who you are.
That is.
But
legit
my prayer is that you will lean. You will begin to lean. No, like
on preacher's wife.
Yep. Lean. You will begin to lean and fall on someone.
Yeah. But I think that goes back to trust issues.
But that's personal.
You
and little Angela figure that out because that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, that's
okay. Because the minute I find out something like, honey, pull up at my friend's house and I see the fish tank. That's your fish tank. I'm like, this ain't your friend house. You moved, and who helped you move all the furniture? I was right here, and that's before kids.
Yes. And my friend, who you know,
Go ahead. All right.
When I told him that I was moving, he what I respect so much, and what I had never experienced was somebody that says, I don't need to know the details. Do you need anything from me? As long as you are okay, yes. And I was like, going through foreclosure, he like, I don't need to know the details. Are you okay? Do you need anything? And I was like, that's different.
Yeah.
It went from one day living in this house to, okay, meet me over here. This is my new address. And he was like, look, I've been through it. I understand the situation. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to question what it is. Now, granted, one person could say, well, you ain't asked me what was wrong with me. You ain't asked me if I need anything. You ain't asked me this. No, he let me know that, hey, look, I don't need to know the details about it, but I'm here if you need anything. And I respected that. But that still didn't open the door for me to be able to completely open up everything that I've shut down over the years. Because I've never felt comfortable telling anybody everything. I can say a lot. Let me tell you something. I can talk, but it's a whole lot of nothing. Like, so nobody really knows the true thoughts that are in my head. Nobody knows the true feelings. Like, I downplay things, but it's because I don't want you to worry about me because you Captain Saver. And I don't want you to be like, Piggy, let's go to work right quick. I'm going to fix her. No, I don't need you. I don't need you to do that. I've already prayed on the situation she taken care of.
You know who you give me? Old school black folk.
Well, people have said that I'm an old soul.
You are.
So maybe I am my ancestor. Somebody then creeped up inside me and said, let me
And as amazing as our ancestors were, it's time to utilize the resources that we have. Stop playing with me, yeah? All right. Catch your head. Catch your head. What is it? Tighten up. All right. How are you feeling?
Let me look at this feelings
How are you feeling?
They don't have it on here.
Oh, try.
No, I'm yellow. I'm joyful right now.
Oh.
I'm actually joyful. This is the month of March. Yeah. I feel good. I'm going to my favorite place to celebrate my birthday. Y'all are going to see this episode way after because there's so many episodes before mine. Shade.
You never know money first. Okay, move your hair. Okay, so this is Sincerely Angie. She has. Hurry up and say something before we go. Wait.
I'm gonna say you. Can you go?
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Wait.
I'm gonna close y'all out.
Okay. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Gotta go with whoever that is.
Okay, so you guys, this is Angie. You can find me at sincerelyangiem.com. I specialize, I would say, in probably finances. But I cannot be closed into any one category or group. I'm a lifestyle content creator. So I do the YouTube, I do the blogs, All right, so you guys, you can find me over at sincerelyangiem.com. And on Instagram, you can find me at just being Angie, just being _Angie, or Sincerely Angie M on Instagram. Yeah, other than that, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much. This was a great conversation with our grape/cranberry juice. Thank you, guys. We didn't even get into all of the things that we could have gotten into, but this was good. So talk to you guys later. Bye.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.